Guys, I'm sure you're aware of the catastrophe that's going on in Lebanon. I am raising money with a reliable charity, One Ummah, that will help get your donations to those people that require it the most. I will leave a link in the description. Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. I knew it, but I just couldn't pin it down. So I'm sure you've heard of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. The fight in which you had the living legend Mike Tyson face Jake Paul, and we ended up being the losers. 60 million people worldwide watched this bout, where you had Mike Tyson, 60, fighting Jake Paul, half of his age. Let's have a look at the tweet of Mike Tyson, which encapsulates the whole situation. Here he says that in June, he was about to die. Yes, he had 8 blood transfusions. Half of his blood was taken out. The guy was in no fit shape to be fighting somebody in his prime. The fight took place November 15th, but as I'm sure you are now familiar with the way these powers that be work, there is a concept known as bread and circuses. In other words, give the people a dinner and a show. Keep them busy with that sort of stuff, and the decisions that you actually want to make that are actually going to affect people, yeah, that's the time to do them. Because I'm sure you're aware there was something called the Roman Colosseum, and the emperors did not want people to butt their noses into their business. So they had the whole gladiator tournament in the Colosseum. As the people were busy there with the bread and circuses, they made the actual decisions. So what was this fight distracting us from? Have a look at this article from The Hill. Again, notice the date, November 15th. And they reported that the Pentagon failed their 7th audit, in which they could not account for $824 billion. Not the couple of thousand that you probably have unaccounted for, and you've got the HMRC, you've got the American version of that banging down your door, repossessing your home, constantly badgering you with red notice letters. No, over here you've got 824 billion, mate. This is the economy of some of these LEDC countries. The question arises, where did all of this money go? I know now a lot of us are thinking, probably unaccounted for because it's gone to Israel. Yeah, they've probably given a large chunk of it there. Well, it's not just Israel. As we know with the Iran-Contra scandal, on the one hand, publicly America was against Iran, whilst on the other hand, they were having deals with Iran behind closed doors. You probably even know about Operation Paperclip, which after World War II, on the public stage, the NAZIs were being publicly berated. However, there was a large chunk of them that was flown back to America because of their know-how. Yeah, especially when it came to the space race. These guys were really good, and America had no qualms about using these ex-NAZIs to help them get to the moon. Alright. So, like that guy Pompeo was saying about the CIA.
I was the CIA director. We lied, we cheated, we stole. It was like we had entire training courses.
And you know the sad reality is that is taxpayers' money. That's money that your mum and your dad and your brother and your sister have been bussing their behind, trying to keep their job just to keep food on the table, and the government sitting on their backside decides to take a chunk. And when it comes to news like this, they don't even have the guts to face the public. But what's also interesting is, this is the bread and circuses thing is not like a backdoor conspiracy. Have a look at this Sky News article from last year. They were accusing Saudi Arabia, who wanted to buy a British football team called Newcastle United, and they were accusing them of sports washing, which is a new terminology that pretty much says the same thing, that you're doing something bad in your country and then you're using entertainment to mask that and to cover it. And here they are again accusing China of sports washing as well. My question is, how on earth do you know about this? Is it because your countries and your cultures have been using this exact same thing and continue to do so? Is it because you hate the fact that they are cutting in on your action? I mean, let's take football as a prime example. Here, you have the Premier League, you have the Champions League, you got the La Liga League, you got the Italia League. There's more as well. You got the Euro Cup, you've got the African Cup, you got the World Cup. We've got football tournaments coming out of our nostrils, mate. And this is just football. I haven't even got started on tennis, golf and cricket. So guys, if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, whenever big events like this happen, be very cautious about what they are trying to hide. And I want to conclude with a very interesting principle. Yeah, you've got two writers, George Orwell, who's written the book 1984, and that's where the term Orwellian comes from. People say that in the future, the dystopian future, governments will using coercion control the public, and it will become very authoritarian. That's one school of thought. Then you've got Huxley, who's written the book Brave New World. He has a different theory. He says that the government will be using entertainment and superficial satisfaction. This fits in with the video that we're talking about, yeah? Giving entertainment and then getting the people to give up those rights of theirs and allow the government to come in. We're just used to this lifestyle, you know what I mean? And you have to make a bit of a compromise. Like with these smartphones, everybody knows that you're talking about hangers, coat hangers. Like an hour later, you'll see adverts of coat hangers coming up on your phone. We know. We don't read the small print of these social media companies and even the phone companies who give data to the military, give our data to these advertisers who then try to hustle us from our well-earned money. Hope you guys have benefited from this video. Let's leave it there. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.